Good morning. Welcome to a Weekly Spark book review. As it is April, and technically the time for the March book is ended. Arbitrary limits. If you're enjoying the book, please keep reading. I just wanted to pop in for just a minute with thoughts. I of course loved it, because it was about the folklore and mythology of the hare. You can see there were things that I put little Post-its in that I wanted to remember, places where I folded down corners of pages. It was, in my opinion, an excellent mix of scholarly folklore and first-person accounts. There were a lot of stories that were told as quotes from the people who had told the stories. The older generation talked about mythology, talked about hares acting crazy in fields, talked about chasing, hunting. Of course, hares were hunted. Of course, hares were used as food. So yeah, there were parts that I didn't love as much, but it would be foolish to ignore that aspect of the hare's role in culture and the life of the people. Now, it was written in a tone that was a little bit older. It wasn't conversational. It wasn't as contemporary as books that might be published more recently that you might, pop up in a similar kind of search. It was first published in 1972, and the authors, one author was born in 1909 and the other was born in 1914. So, they were writing it later in their life. That does not negate anything. It was full of amazing information, but it does, I think, set the context for the tone being a little more formal or a little more scholarly and not as conversational as you might see today. So that could be an obstacle for some people. It was not for me. I have not read the other book on the hare, which I think is a little more modern and might have that change in tone that I keep mentioning. So I will probably read that other hare book as we move forward when I can. Just wanted to mention my thoughts. I do give it a thumbs up, and I definitely put it in the scholarly category, although very inspirational. The animal for April is going to be the snake, and there is not a specific book that comes along with this animal. I'm going to pop in a separate video to talk about the folklore of the snake, but I just wanted to mention that since this was the book thread, that there's currently not a book. There wasn't one on my shelf. I have a great tome about the mythology and folklore of Eve, kind of a biography of Eve, but that's a really big one, and I didn't want to set myself up to be in an awkward situation selecting that book and not being able to finish it. So that brings this book review to a close. Thumbs up with some caveats, and as always, I hope you have time to take it to the page yourself or to like and follow some of these Weekly Spark themed videos as we're moving through the course of the year. Moving into our second quarter, actually, with our fourth inspirational animal, the snake. Stay tuned for more on that, and I'll see you on the channel.